Welcome back everyone, my name is Eltimar and we are going to be continuing our Let's Play of Disco Elysium. And where we left off last time, we were upstairs in the Harbor E-type area. And this says, all around you great machines in quiescence? Something like that. A word I've never really seen before. White pine trees are printed onto the screen covering, looking like, or it looks like a forest under snow. Let's continue on. We're mostly trying to get back to where we were, but we're sort of just stuck up here for the moment. That's where somewhere where we were. Anyways, there is some sort of button thing there. There's also a lootable up here. With $1.28. And a Nosafed. There's nothing over here, so that must mean we can, yeah, we can't go over there either. This must be the way back. Okay, so this says, a rusting control panel with several knobs, 2 buttons marked Eltimar and Étendre are faded with use. It seems to control the large crane above. The container is attached to its hook block. Eltimar on, Étendre off. On! With a loud grind, the crane shifts overhead, moving a massive metal container through the air. It's a horrible screeching sound. Okay, it's being put down. That's a good sign. Might also be like a bridge for us. Oh, don't fall. It is precarious. And with a surprisingly quiet thunk, the crane places the container down. The harbor sleeps as the strike rages in the distance. The crane can rest again, now that its purpose has been fulfilled. Its purpose, what do you mean? Moving this container, of course. For this purpose it was built, for this purpose it has acted, and now it will rest. I can't see how that was worth the ruckus, he looks at the crate, except for seeing the crane in action, which I admit was satisfying. Let's open it. I'm going up. There's also a thing here. What is this? This says, you see faded industrial lettering on the platform, Kveldsen. Before you stands a cargo container, just one of many in the yard. Kim, I think there's something about this container. You do? Because I don't. What? Why not? There are a million containers here. Why are you fixated on this one? I don't know, Kim, it just feels special. It's a cargo container, detective, just like all the others. He doesn't even look at it. We're not here to interact with the containers. We're here to talk to the Union, right? I knock on the door. No reply. The knock produces a hollow ring of metal. Doesn't sound like there's anything inside the container. Open the door. You attempt to turn the handle to no avail. The doors seem to be mechanically locked. To your left, the lieutenant considers your actions with some puzzlement. Nothing more to do here for now. I guess I leave. I still think there's something up with that container. I guess we're going this way. Oh, there's something over here. And there's something to look at here. It is... The musk of oil and rust comes from the chasm in front of you. It smells like blood. It's just making a sound, but I can't open it, I guess. What is this? Nothing we can click on. Okay. Are we sure we can't open this thing? Just makes that sound. Okay, fair enough. What is this thing? Industrial sized thermos. Smells like burnt coffee. Oh, there's some money there too. Who just leaves $1.10 lying around? Wait, who are you? Hang on, before we go into that building. Container, container, container. The banner sags under the weight of the rain and snow. White waves on red.
Container, container, I'll turn you nice and red. Container, container, put the logos on.
The lyrics to this container song are being made up as he goes along. The accent is so thick it's impossible not to notice he's Ubi, from the vanishing peninsula of Ubi Sunt. SIC, on Monday.
Container, container, used to be Walpines. Container, container, now belongs to Evrart.
The tiny man is so engaged in his work he doesn't notice us. Hi.
Evrart, 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 he looks after everyone. Huh? Well, Hey there! How can I help you, mister? I see you're not a union man, mister. Did you get lost? You're not one of them scabs, are you?
A shadow passes over his kind face. No, of course not.
I mean, I don't personally mind. Folks is just folks, you know, and folks gotta eat.
He doesn't seem to be waiting for you to answer.
Just some of the other guys don't look too kindly on the scabbing kind, if you know what I mean, mister.
What's in the container over there? I point to the one suspended from the crane arm. Oh, that one. He looks at the container. That should be empty as far as I know. Lots of containers here have nothing in them. They're just waiting to be loaded up. Told you. Are you the Leo, sorry, who wrote the note to make more banners? Oh, yes, he replies excitedly. I leave all kinds of notes for myself. That old head of mine ain't so good at keeping things in no more. I almost forgot about the borscht. Wait, what was that about the borscht? Oh yes, I've been taking special whirling borscht to the men every day since the strike started. The little guy chuckles merrily. It's very, very good. Makes a man feel so warm and happy. He shakes his head with a wide smile. I feel like I could take on Mr. Renaudin's boar dogs every time the lunch is done. What do you mean by taking the soup to the men? Is it for striking? Yes, I'm taking it to them. The borscht keeps them happy and in fighting spirits. Makes you all warm inside. They brew it at the Whirling in Rags. Hold up, who makes it at the Whirling? Oh, the Whirling's cook. He makes it. Them is always talking with Mr. Manana in that weird language and laughing together. He doesn't speak what we speak. He's from Grad. Something is off about this borscht. I'm going to look into it. Oh, yes, mister. Sure. The little guy nods. You do that, sir. He didn't actually understand what he meant, and now he's just nodding along. Do you work here? Yes, everybody needs a job, and this is mine. I'm Leonard, by the way. Leonard Bellick, but everyone calls me Leo. The little man raises his hand in a welcoming gesture. I'm like Mr. Evrart's right-hand man when Mr. Edgar is out of town, and Mr. Edgar's right-hand man when Mr. Evrart is away. He chuckles. Actually, Miss Beaufort is the right-hand man, but she's a lady. A good-hearted chuckle again. Who is this Miss Beaufort? The lieutenant looks up at Leo. A real pretty lady with skin like those doux sucre candy bars my missus likes so much. Them are real nice to suckle on once dinner's done, and me and the missus sit down besides the radio. But I can't listen to the radio all the time. There's so much to do around here, and I'm always busy keeping things running here. Yes, I am. Hold on, who's this Miss Beaufort you mentioned? Oh, Lizzie? She's a real sharp tool. Mr. Evrart put her through some fancy school and everything east of the river. 4 years she was gone, and when she came back she was all fancy and lawlerly. He respects that word, that's obvious. But she's a real nice girl. Grew up in this here neighborhood and knows everyone and gets along with everyone. A real pillar of the community one day, I'm sure. If my missus and me was to have a child, I'd be really happy if it turned out like her. But she can't have kids. Dr. Lemaitre said so, and she knows about such things. Been a doctor for almost 50 years, she has. He sighs and falls silent, watching you meekly with his blue eyes. So Evrart trained a lawyer named Miss Beaufort. Interesting. I think you're doing a great job around here, Leo. Yes, this place really seemed to run like clockwork. Keep it up, Leo. The lieutenant smiles at the little man. Well, thanks a lot. Coming for you means a lot, really. You didn't think it was possible, but the smile becomes even wider. Sometimes I feel some of the guys don't really get how much I bust my ass for them here, but you guys are alright. Where is everyone? The harbor's empty. Oh, most of the guys are down at the gates, keeping the scabs from coming in. He leans in with a confidential look. We're on a strike. The whole union is. You don't have to work when you're on strike. Huh, we haven't worked in 2 months now. So no one's working? Not everyone is down there, of course. He chuckles. Mr. Evrart is in his office where he always is. And Jean-Luc is on the Enterprise. Just kidding. Jean-Luc is guarding the gate. He pauses to think. But Titus and his boys got in some drunken trouble, and Evrart sent them on a nice vacation for a week or so. He stops, but then seems eager to tell you more. What kind of trouble did this Titus and his friends get into? I'm not really supposed to talk about that. That's union business. He smiles and leans closer. Him and the boys stirred something up in town. Probably drank too much and got in a fight or something. Heard Mr. Evrart telling them to take some time off. Really? Did they kill someone? No, I don't think they killed anyone. The little guy shies away from you. Let's better talk about something else. Titus's boys do good work. I don't want to get them in trouble over a little drinking. He probably doesn't know anything anyways. Who in the right one to tell him? What are you doing with the containers? Oh, I'm here just making some covers for them containers. Here, yes I am. It's easier for the crane operators to spot them. He waves at the containers towering behind him. What is going on here? We have a good check on this, so we should be able to do it. The containers in the yard are green in Wild Pine's livery, and the mountain rising behind Leo is all red in Union colors. It's like some red infection was spreading outwards from the container yard's core. There's supposed to be cisterns underneath the Union container covers. This looks like a massive redecorating operation, Kim. Yes, they're hiding it from the inside. All the red containers have the Debadeur's Union logo on them. Leo, has anyone told you why you need to change the covers? No, not really, no. He shrugs and continues merrily. Mr. Evrart doesn't tell me all the big things. Says I go and tell him to everyone. What's underneath those red covers? Oh, I don't know, mister. They say some chemicals. Chemicals? Most of them have labels on them, I think. Chemicals, probably? I think. Thanks, Lee. You've been very helpful. Oh, no trouble at all, mister. No trouble at all, the little guy affirms merrily. You're Ubi, right? Yes, born and raised in Irish, mister. Mum had to leave my dad after he got a bit violent, took us here to the New World. I was about 10 then, too. Too old to lose my accent then. People say us Ubis are up to all sorts of trouble with sheep and other animals and whatnot. I just want you to know that there was never any of that where I came from. No, sir, those are just nasty rumors. Thank you for clarifying that, sir. I am looking for the leader of the Dockworkers Union. Oh, you want Mr. Evrart then? He's an awfully nice fellow, he is. Him and his brother are both nice fellows. They live their entire lives in this here neighborhood. He coughs and then continues immediately. Guys like Mr. Evrart and Mr. Edgar, his brother, are really good guys. Made Martinez what it is today. Mr. Evrart and Mr. Edgar and I went to the same school we did when we were just boys. Easy, Nelio. I just want to know where I can find him. Oh, Mr. Evrart is where he always is. In his office, of course. He points to the 2 joint containers on your right. Alright, I'm off, thanks. Bye-bye now. He returns to his work. His office is just containers. Okay, well, I mean, there are worse offices, I suppose. But let's be clear, there are also better offices. I hear like a typewriter. The coffee in the giant thermos is still lukewarm. Oh, well, must be fresh-ish then. A stair made of pallets leading up. What is a typewriter? Dude is huge. Mr. Evrart maybe may need to take a diet before he has a coronary. A taxidermy fish that tells time. Before you is a walrus of a man seated behind a large desk. He looks up from his work, not the least bit surprised to see you. With great effort he straightens himself up in his chair, yet says nothing. He simply stares at you. With a mixture of expectation and impatience, well bottled. You in charge of the dock workers? Welcome, Mr.
Mr. Dubois, Mr. Kitsaragi. It's good of you two to stop by. Please, have a seat.
He gestures to a tiny chair opposite his giant desk.
I'm Evrart Clare, head of the Debargeurs Union here in Martinez.
The man relaxes into his chair and continues.
I'd offer you my hand, but unfortunately my health prevents me from getting up. You understand?
I don't. Is your health problem related to you eating another whole person? He looks extremely comfortable. The tiny folding chair, on the other hand, looks like a torture device.
You go ahead, detective.
The lieutenant nods at you in the chair. Whatever he has in store for you, it can't be good, he thinks. I'll do my best. Forget about that. What's with this Dubois stuff? You're getting some seriously bad vibes from that name. Why are you calling me Mr. Dubois?
Please, Mr. Dubois, let us converse in a civilized manner as equals. Take a seat, I insist.
I hate his voice. Good voice actor, but I just want to... It's just like a smarmy voice. It's nothing. Yes, that's probably right. It's nothing. Forget about it. Filter it out. I don't sit. It's kind of my thing.
Very well, Mr. Dubois. I respect a man with strong convictions.
As he nods, his multiple chins move like ocean waves.
I, too, have convictions, one of which is that I will not engage any man who won't face me at eye level. Should you find yourself more amenable in the future, I'd gladly resume our conversation. But until then, I'm afraid I must ask you to leave.
He turns back to his typewriter. You're no titan of volition, buddy. He's got you in a fork. Sit down or leave.
Excellent, Fine. Mr. Dubois. I can see that you're a reasonable man, and reasonable men can be of great use to one another.
He gives us a sly wink. Damn, this chair's uncomfortable.
So tell me, how can the head of the Debargeurs Union help a representative of the Revachol Citizens Militia today?
We're gonna die from the chair. The chair you're sitting on has got to be the most uncomfortable chair in the world. It's violating your backside.
By the way, I heard you got a rather rude reception from a certain Lawrence Garte. Some people have no manners. It pains me to say.
We actually had to use a medkit to not die from sitting in a chair.
This should take care of that nonsense.
He points to a giant novelty check on his desk. It's absolutely comically huge.
It should be sufficient to cover your expenses for a few days and patch over your differences with the cafeteria manager. Go ahead, take it.
He points at it again. Wow, that's 25 real. That's good money. You need it. I take the comically large check, but I don't say anything.
Is there anything you'd like to say to me? Or...
No. No, it's cool.
Cool? Wouldn't go that far. I'm sure there are cooler things than delivering a comically oversized novelty check to a cafeteria manager. But, sure, if that's what's cool nowadays.
I mean, it's not uncool.
Now, I'd like to set your mind at ease about one other matter. Your lost gun. Let me assure you, Union people are on it as we speak. I've got my best hounds looking for that lost gun. Lost gun. Lost gun.
His slug-like lips move, but all you hear is an echo. My morale's fine. The world is swallowed by a black hole of fear. Only 2 words escape its gravitational pull. Lost and gun. When he said don't worry, he actually meant to be very worried. Not worried, I got this.
Are you alright, Harry? You say you've got this, but you seem a little anxious to me. Don't be. Everything's going to be alright. It's not like you left it loaded. You didn't lose a loaded gun. Local children aren't out there playing with it right now, pointing it into their own mouths. It's in a safe place. I just know it. I have a feeling everything's going to be alright.
It was loaded. There were at least 2 bullets in it. You always keep at least 2 barrels loaded. Kim? Kim?
Officer, we will deal with this later. We don't need Mr. Clare's help with this.
I wouldn't be so sure about that.
He says, as though to himself. Well, we're gonna try and compose ourselves. God, you're sweating, your knee is jerking, you're about to cry, aren't you? You're about to cry because you lost your gun and those children are gonna shoot themselves with it. No, I'm not gonna cry. Try and stay cool.
Mr. Dubois, you don't look so good.
What is this Mr. Dubois he keeps repeating? What? Is he trying to pull here? You need to cool the fuck down, chill.
Mr. Dubois! Mr. Dubois! Harry!
The large man snaps his fingers, but to no effect. You're in some stupor. There are no Harrys. I let my mind go to a safe place.
Mr. Dubois, are you okay? Can I get you a glass of water or something? Are you having some kind of medical emergency?
Maybe you could use your hands somehow, like a throwing motion, like you're throwing that Mr. Dubois act right back at him. He's Mr. Dubois. Actually, this chair is uncomfortable. I could use that glass of water. Sit upright.
What an odd demonstration of... Huh? You got me, Harry. I don't even know what. As entertaining as it was, I'm afraid we're wasting our time, and I'm an extremely busy man, as I'm sure you are too.
Okay, enough. We are here to ask you some questions pertaining to a murder investigation.
Quick, here's your window. Get yourself together and ask him questions. Please, officer questions. I want to talk about the hanging. Oh, of course, that's your main thing here. That's why you're in Martinez. He nods. I know everything that goes on around here, and I would love to discuss it with you. I mean, it's no secret that the lynching is connected to the strike. So much to talk about. Honestly, it's been weighing on me so heavily. I understand. You need to interview me, but... Or, I see there's a need to interview me. I sense there's a but. But here's a thing that has been keeping me up at night. I want to talk about the hanging. I mean, if we could just calmly talk and exchange information, we could blow this whole thing wide open. Yes, that does sound good, the lieutenant says with a slow nod. Let's do that. But I can't think straight with this thing weighing on me. Suddenly he slaps himself on the forehead. You're police officers, aren't you? I have a crazy idea. You guys are basically door-opening machines, incredibly talented at opening doors. I've opened a few doors in my life. And I'm sure you're going to open this one with flying colors, Harry. He chuckles. This really is very simple and there's nothing shady about it. Whose door is it? Oh, no one's. It's just a weasel. A weasel lives there. Nothing for you to be worried about. Why don't you just open it for yourself? Harry, I'm a very busy man, and more importantly, I don't have that extraordinary physique like you do. I almost died from sitting in a chair. He slams his fists together. You look like you could run around all day. Disagree. You want to send someone a message that police are working for you. I repeat, I'm a very, very busy man, Mr. Kitsuragi, and therefore I must occasionally enlist outside help. He turns back to you. So what will it be, Harry? Damn it, fine, I'll look into it. We need to talk about the murder. Fantastic, my friend. Just let me know when it's done and we can take our friendship to the next level. Disagree. He flicks his fingers. You can get the key from Manana. He's down by the gates. Manana, like a free agent in the Union. Special operations, hardened socialist, a real free thinker too. I'll tell you precisely where the door is. He smiles, obviously satisfied with how well he planned it all out. One last thing, Harry. Just open the door. You needn't go in or anything. I just want that weasel to come home and see the unlocked door. I'm looking into your shady brew. I don't know what that means, Harry. Shady brew? There are so many moving parts in my operation, I can't keep track of them all. You know what? Don't even tell me. Whatever it is, do it. Surprise me, he reconsiders. Just one thing. If you can, make it even shadier. He sincerely has no idea what you're talking about, and he doesn't care either. What's in the container that's outside your office? My dear Harry, there are literally millions of containers in this harbor. I couldn't possibly remember what's in all of them. There's something special about it. It was attached to the Valsen crane. Harry, you smooth-talking son of a bitch, he said with the fondest of smiles. Time is a precious resource, and I don't have enough of it to count containers with you. Smooth-talking? Maybe that's the way to go about opening the container. You should at least try to convince it. We'll try and convince it to open. Let's talk about my lost gun. Yes, your lost gun. His face turns serious. My best men are on it. They're turning every stone, searching every playground, asking kids, grandmas, everyone. Your gun will be found, Harry. Let me assure you of that. He winks at you. Just a matter of time and effort. The only way to find it seems to be working with him. He might even be holding your gun hostage. Hold on. Could he really be holding my gun hostage? Who knows? Only one thing is certain. If you work with him, you're going to get it back, and working with him might be the only way to do it. Does this mean if I do things for you, I'll get my gun back? Damn it, Harry, that's exactly what it means. He turns to the Lieutenant. I'm only kidding, of course. Of course, the Lieutenant replies dryly. I understand. We help you. You help us. Aren't you going to ask me how I got in? Harry, he says almost gently. Honestly, I'm just relieved you didn't get a hernia. A man at your age? A man at my age? What are you implying about the peak of my abilities? Yes, Harry, you are obviously in peak physical condition, and I salute both your impressive and physical prowess. Very impressive, Harry. Very impressive. Anyway, I assure you, I'm a well-informed man. Information reaches me before I even get the chance to request it. You call me Mr. Dubois. Why? Oh, of course, let us dispatch with the formalities. You may call me Evrart, and I call you Harry. That's really my name? My god, so it's true. I didn't want to believe it, but you are a fantastic science fiction amnesiac cop, aren't you? He shrugs with an amazed expression. What are the odds of that? I think the odds of that, he looks at you, are very low. Might be a good idea to hide your confusion. I mean, see what his game is first. My memory is fine, I'm just testing you. So good to hear that, Harry. Apparently my sources were wrong. He pats the brown folder in front of him. However, if you did have a spot of memory trouble, I could help you out with my big fat folder. Words flow like a river of honey from his lips. I guess word has already reached him. No matter, no harm done. It's just a brown folder, you can't make out what's written on it. Are you trying to tell me you've gotten hold of some of our documents? The Lieutenant inspects Evrart over his spectacles. Mr. Kyrieru, would you mind? His eyes never leave yours. Me and Harry are talking about his lost identity right now. Don't just jump to the folder, that's not smart. Shows you're on the edge. Do some probing first. Let me get this straight. What's my full name? It's Harry. He glances at the folder. Harry Dubois. You don't feel like either of those things. You know what your name is. You have a sophisticated name like that of a count or a beautiful man. That's not my name. My name is Raphael Castello. Fine, Harry. He waves you off. You can even be Harry Raphael Dubois de Castello, or whatever you want to be. The Lieutenant covers his face and sighs audibly, just a facepalm. Ugh. Mr. Kyrieru doesn't seem even slightly empathetic to your memory loss, Harry. He frowns at Kim. I, however, wish to help you any way I can. Do you know where I live? Of course, Harry. He nods. Your precinct is the 41st and you live in Jamrock. You're a Jamrock boy. A long way from home, but that's okay. He doesn't really seem to know any more about it. Do you know anything about my family? Do I have a wife or kids or... Family? Harry, you're not a family man. There's not one peep of a family in here unless you think you're a family man. Do you strike yourself as a family man, Harry? I think I do. I'd be a wonderful father. Well, yes, he looks around uninterested. I'm sure you're going to make one little boy or girl very happy and proud one day, Harry. What kind of cop does it say I am? Harry, you're not simply a cop, you're a star. A bright, shining star in the drab law enforcement sky, outshining all other stars. You're a superstar. That's what I like about you, Evrart. You get me. Of course I do, Harry. He smiles a sly smile. And I'm going to help you. Shine. I'm going to put you on all the big stages. Your name in giant neon letters. Harry Dubois. The giant neon sign reading Harry Dubois hanging from the Xvim crane can be seen all the way to Jamrock. Somewhere in Morova, a beautiful woman sees the bright glow on the horizon and says to herself, "Oh my god, I shouldn't have left him." Where'd you get the folder? Ah, this, he closes the folder. My friends in your organization gave it to me, Harry. This translates into, haha, you guys are so corrupt. I find that very suspicious. May I have a look? I'm afraid this is meant for Union eyes only, Mr. Kyrieru. I'm sure you understand. He turns back to you. Please continue, Harry. We have a pretty good chance of succeeding at this, so let's try it. As you look at the folder, Evrart covers it with his hand and pets it. He's hiding it from you because it's not a real RCM folder. It's just another one of those brown folders you saw in the file cabinet. That's not an RCM folder. Okay, Harry, you got me, he says, grinning. This is from the Census Bureau, not the RCM. Those Census Bureau people are absolutely corrupt. You should do something about them. You got the name from the Census Bureau and made everything else from your actions here in Martinez. Yes, Mr. Kitsuragi from the Census Bureau, like I said. He looks annoyed. Now, I'm actually a very busy man, so is there anything else I can do for you, Harry? That means he doesn't really know anything about you. A pity. The mystery of you will have to remain a mystery for the time being. So the Census Bureau says my name is Harry Dubois? Yes, that's what I said. Try to keep up, okay? Let's move on. Evrart, I'm gonna have to leave now, but we might talk again later. Wait, he leans and reaches into his drawer and pulls out a plastic card. You need this to get in and out of the gate. Thanks. I was wondering how I'm supposed to get out. Here. You're one of us now. A real red and white Union man. Take care, Harry. As you turn, a bright light catches your eye, making you squint. Where's it coming from? From a distant sunset? A stage light? Flash photography? Nowhere in particular. It's just what the superstar law enforcers do. They squint at lights and they solve shit. Actually, now that I hear superstar and law official, in a sentence, they sound weird together. What are you, deaf? They're perfect, like rockstar politician, drug addict teacher. Embrace the superstardom you've worked so hard to establish. Yeah, that's me. I've been establishing my superstardom hard lately. Yeah, you have. You're a big dick cop. Dick Mullen. Salam Rocky Bye. Badass on the edge disco cop. Time to recede into a ludicrous fantasy world. Here we go. Camera, lights. Wait, action. With a sudden flash, the world freezes around you, and along with it, and you along with it, in an iconic monochrome solution, a black silhouette against a rasterized orange world. It's on. I'm gonna make my character go insane, apparently. We're at 26 minutes. We have a little bit more time before we run out of time. Also, just as a tidbit of information, I will be gone next week, so don't expect any videos on November 4th to November 7th or 8th. I'm back on the Friday, whatever the Friday is. Now, how do I get out of here? The shipyard ahead is oddly quiet. The great machines are sleeping. I really need more, like, map stuff so I can... Wait, how do we get out of here? There's a gate somewhere. Let's go find the gate. We put that container down. We don't... Oh yeah, we should try and course it open. That's what they did mention, so... I mean, we can always try it. It's almost impossible. Why are you even trying to open a door with rhetoric? Because getting physical wasn't an option. Because what wasn't an option? The lieutenant looked startled, using my body over my wits. Now's not the time to get philosophical, detective. You can do that after hours. Kvalsund means whale fjord in Arden. Let's see if we can find our way out of here. Can we get down there? How do we get down there? There's another door on that side. I feel like there should be something else here. It's the night watchman's booth. Let's head down this way, I guess. Into this area. Let's see if we can get around to the other side, maybe. It looks like there's two ways into this particular area. And we auto-saved. Yeah, we can go out this way. Alright, well, we are at half an hour. We're gonna call it here. In the next video, we're gonna continue on our way and hopefully get out of the harbor area and back to our original area where we're still exploring things. For now, though, I'll leave you guys here. Like always, if you have any suggestions or comments, please leave them below. Otherwise, I'll see you all next time. Take care.